This is going to be a Yin Yoga class for your mindset. Obviously, we're doing physical poses, but I want you to really observe the mind, become the witness to your thoughts. And this is inspired because I've just been thinking lately about all the information that we take in and how we need to really use our brain to discern what we actually want to let into our body, just the way we discern what types of food we put into our body. So yoga is Yin Yoga, and any type of yoga is really meant to help in that discernment process. So removing the veils of tamas and rajas, so the veils that disrupt the clear thinking, the clarity. And the key for that is obviously the breath. So we'll come back to that quote from the Yoga Hatha Pradipika, which is, the mind is the king of the senses, but the breath is the conqueror of the mind. So as we move through the poses today, I'm just going to remind you to keep your awareness constantly on the breath and observing where your thoughts are. So let's start by just gently closing our eyes and start to just notice the breath. So all I would like you to do is just notice the breath coming in through your nose and notice the breath going out. So cooler as it comes in and warmer as it leaves. So taking some nice smooth breaths all the way down to the belly. Feel the belly expand on the inhale and soften and release on the exhale. Notice that you're breathing in and notice when you're breathing out. Good. And the first pose that we're going to come into is a butterfly pose. Now, I didn't mention before that you'll need a blanket and a bolster, a cushion, or a cushion with a towel around it for the practice today. I'm going to sit up on a blanket for this pose. And we're going to come into a butterfly pose. Now, the soles of the feet to touch. And if you want to get more into the groin, into the inner legs, you bring the feet a bit closer to you, or you can have more of a loose butterfly which gets into the hips. If you'd like to use a bolster and a block, you could use a bolster and just rest your forehead on it. Seeing we're focusing on the mind today, it's quite nice to have that connection. Or you could place your hands down and let your head rest onto your hands. Just finding a situation that you can remain still in for a couple of minutes and practicing the principles of Yin. So finding that position where you find the resistance, so coming into the place of resistance. And once you find that position, just starting to become still, resolve to be still and let go. All you need to do is think about the breath coming in, breath coming out. And just observing the mind. The mind is a muscle, just like we exercise our physical body. Exercise the mind, strengthen the muscles of the mind through meditation, through observation, relaxation. When I say observation of the mind, I'm talking about observing what we allow in, observing how we train our mind, which could be through something as simple as reading regularly, a regular reading practice, and observing what we take in as far as social media and junk into our brain. So having boundaries around what we let into our brain. And that's this discernment element, discerning what is good for us and what is not good for us. Good, and very slowly and gently take time to rise up, pushing the floor away from you. And we're going to come into a supported twist now from this butterfly pose. So I'm going to take the bolster long ways, and I'm just going to slide forward and bring my legs into what could be called a mermaid or a 90-90, some people say, where I've got one leg parallel and then the shin is parallel to the side of the mat, and the back leg, the shin is parallel to the short end of the mat. And I'm just going to turn and take a gentle twist onto my bolster. Or you could use a cushion with a towel around it if you've got that. So I'm going to slowly turn, and my legs are this way on my right, and I'm going to turn my head around to the right, follow the body around. So a gentle twisting pose. And even though you're in this twist, see if you can get those deep belly breaths happening. Remembering the quote, the mind is the king of the senses, but the breath is the conqueror of the mind. So the mind is reacting to all of the senses, the information that's happening, but we can override that with the breath. So deep breaths into the belly. Deep belly breaths. And slowly take your time, push up, come up. And in your own time, you're just going to swap the legs to the other side. And as we're doing this, moving through this practice to focus on the mind, I just wanted to mention a fantastic quote I heard yesterday with Jimmy Quick, I think his name is, the mindset and brain coach, was talking about when he was speaking with Quincy Jones, the music producer. Yeah. And he said, Quincy Jones said, I have no problems, I only have puzzles. And I think that's a fantastic example of mindset. Yeah. Don't think of a thing as problems, which is what you want to shy away from, but a puzzle, which is something you want to lean into and solve. So it's a nice way, just that simple rewording of a problem to a puzzle can really help with your mindset. Okay, we're turning in the opposite direction now, letting go, mind on the breath. Good, and very slowly and gently start to push the floor away as you slowly rise up. And we're going to release your legs and come onto all fours, preparing for Anahatasana, so melting heart. And we're going to do this because it brings the third eye space down towards the floor, down towards the earth. So keeping your awareness on the breath, releasing, letting go of any tension in the mind, letting go of any tightness in the face. Just remember to keep your knees and your hips in alignment as you walk your hands forward, resting the third eye space down towards the floor. Letting go of any tension in the prefrontal cortex, and just softening the space of the head and the face. So this pose is called melting heart. Anahatasana, it releases into the shoulders where we often hold mental tension. So just letting go of anything here that you don't need to hold on to, any unnecessary tension or holding. Just let it go. Well done. And slowly push your hips back onto your heels. Cross your forearms and let the head rest onto your forearms into a child's pose. And as you do this, just move your head to the left and right, giving your forehead a little massage onto the forearms. Good, and then we're going to continue to work into the shoulders. So coming back onto all fours, bring your toes to touch, take your knees wide. We're going to do a wide-kneed child's pose with a twist. So I'm going to bring my right arm up, gazing up, and then thread it through under the left arm, coming down onto the side of the head. Your left hand can then come behind you to hold onto the thigh and breathe into the thoracic spine. There's also the option to have your left arm out in front of you, so just choosing the best position for yourself. And slowly release that left arm. Use your hand to help push yourself up. Take a breath. And when you're ready, you go to the other side. So the left arm stretches up and then threads through under the right side. Bring this right arm around now. And release into the side of the left side of the face. Soften the shoulders. And take some deep breaths into the thoracic spine, into the middle of the back, or the upper back. Well done. And release that top arm. Slowly push the floor away to come up. Take your time. Just curl your toes under, sit back for a moment onto your heels. Just feeling the energy when you stretch out through your toes. And we're going to move into a supported Supta Baddha Konasana now to open up the shoulders even more. So I'm going to take my blanket under the bolster just for a bit of height. You can use a block if you've got one. And we're just going to lie back and drape our shoulders over the bolster with the feet in butterfly to get the opening in the hips. If you don't have a bolster, you can use 2 blocks. You can also do it without props if you want to. So soles of the feet touching. I'm trying to really get into those shoulders where we hold tension, which affects our the mind, manas. Turning the palms up, just letting the shoulders drape over the bolster. Connecting again with the breath. So you can maybe take one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, and really do this to become aware of those deep belly breaths. So letting the hands rise as you breathe in and soften as you breathe out. So some real conscious breaths. Feeling the body expand and release. Mind is the king of the senses, and the breath is the conqueror of the mind. So really feeling those deep belly breaths happen. And see if you can observe what happens to the mind, finding a little bit of space between your thoughts as you take deeper breaths. Well done. And very gently, you might like to manually bring your legs together and find your way onto your back without the support underneath you. We're going to come into a full side body release in a crescent moon shape. So we're going to start on our backs, knees are bent, walk your feet to the left, reach your arms overhead, and then hold your right wrist with your left hand and draw your arm to the left, walk your feet to the left, and then straighten the legs. If you can take your right ankle over the left foot. So you're creating this crescent moon shape with the body. Allow yourself to soften into the earth. You've got to feel it down the whole right side of the body. Take some deep breaths, filling up the side body. This also corresponds to the liver and the gallbladder meridian. Well, the gallbladder meridian, not the liver meridian, but they're the paired organs. And it releases any inflammation, tightness, heat from the body. With these conscious breaths, filling up the whole side body. Inhale. Inhale fully and exhale completely. Letting go. Well done. And slowly release the feet. Bend your knees. Take your time to walk your feet back to center and bring your arms back to center so that you're in alignment now. Your spine's in alignment. Take a centering breath before we move to the other side. So when you're ready, you can swap your hands so that the right hand is holding the left wrist, drawing the arms over to the right now, walking the feet to the right, eventually straightening your legs and stretching out into a crescent moon shape on the other side. So both of your hips are on the ground. So your back is on the ground. Your back should be fully flat on the ground. Just drawing those arms over, drawing the feet over. So both glute muscles are on the ground as well. You're going to feel this in the left side body. So take some deep breaths all the way into the left side of the body. Just slowing everything down. Well done. And slowly coming back to center. Walk your feet back in. Find that neutral position with your spine. And we're going to take a supine twist now. So the arms are out to the side at 180 degrees. I'm taking the right leg over the left. Maybe hook that foot around. Drop your knees to the left and just gaze to the right. So you'll notice we're doing a lot of twisting in this class. There's lots of gentle twists. These gentle twists can often bring insight, inspiration. Really powerful for our mindset. Well done. Slowly bring your legs back to center, unravel them. Take a moment, take a breath. And let's swap to the other side. So the left leg over, hook that foot around, drop your knees to the right and gaze to the left. Well done. Very slowly. Take your time to bring your legs back to center. Unravel your legs. Just find that neutral spine. Notice the line of your spine now. And then when you're ready, just stretching out for a beautiful Shavasana. So covering yourself if you're cold, legs out, palms turned up, and just letting the whole body relax. Well done. Gently deepen the breath. Start to move your fingers and your toes. When you're ready, hug your knees in. Roll to the right side. Take your time to come up. And we're going to finish the class with a few rounds of the Sa Ta Na Ma mantra. It's a mudra and mantra for the brain, for your mind. And all you need to do is touch your thumb and index, thumb and middle, thumb and ring finger, thumb and pinky finger, as you say Sa Ta Na Ma. 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 Really good for your brain, cognitive function. Well done. All right, take a deep inhale, float the arms up, gathering strength and energy. Exhale, hands to the heart space, sealing the practice with a primordial Om. Inhale. And surrender to the grace of the universe. Namaste.
Namaste.